Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going to be making a tier list of every single melee sword weapon in Terraria. This tier list is going to be based off 1.4.3.6, so it's not going to be based on the most recent update. Just because I know a lot of people use Team Mod Loader still, and I personally like Team Mod Loader more than Vanilla Terraria. Alright, cool, let's hop into it. So first off, this is the adamantite sword, and I also think that is the same as the all of the post hard mode swords that are ore swords, like the mithril, adamantite, titanium, etc., etc. And this is all just bad. You should not be using this. You should also why use your ore to actually progress in the game and make pickaxes and stuff. You should not be using it to make swords. Yeah, you don't need them at all. They're completely useless. They all kind of suck. There's nothing special about them. They do low base damage. They have nothing going for them, and yeah, they all just kind of suck. Next up's the Arcalis. This is a good weapon. It's very short ranged, but it's still good. It's very rare though, so you probably won't actually ever find it or see it in game. But still, I mean, it's decent, I guess. Next up are these blade calls. They go really fast, and they're good. Good weapon. They shoot fast, or they attack fast, but they're only at Halloween, so put them in good. They're good. Next up is Beekeeper. Beekeeper is low tier amazing or high tier good. I'll go good just because you are probably going, or high tier good just because there's so many other swords that you're probably about to get. It does do a lot of damage though. Like it does do a lot of damage, especially with the bees that spawn from it. It just can absolutely shred stuff. So yeah, it's definitely one of the better swords. And it's a blade of grass. I don't like this weapon really at all. It's kind of slow. It poisons stuff though, which is good. We'll put it in low good tier. Next up is the blade tongue. I would put this in below average. Which actually no, I'm just gonna name okay actually at this point. I'm just named okay. But it's actually, it shoots Ichor, but it's only if you actually hit the enemy with the sword. Which is just kind of stupid, because if we're that close already, you might as well just hit them with the sword. But it's no range at all, so I'm putting it okay. It's pretty bad. Next up is the Blood Butcher and the Demonite counterpart. They're okay. They're not good. They're not good in any sense. But they do some damage, I guess. But at the same time, like, you probably have an excess flow of Demonite. Same when I was crafted, but you'll probably get a better sword pretty soon. Alright, next up is all of the phase sabers. They all go in okay. I don't think they're great, but they're not bad either. They're kind of novel just because they're based off a lightsaber, obviously. But I don't think they only do a little bit of damage, and they don't have like any special range at all. So again, it's kind of useless because you're so close that you're gonna die anyways, because the boss is gonna be like literally like on top of you. Next up is the beam sword. I'll put it top tier, okay. It just shoots a big beam, which is kind of cool, I guess. Next up is the bone sword. We'll put this in low tier, okay. I've literally never used it. I don't want to put it there because I actually have used it like twice. It's kind of a rare drop though, and it literally does like 14 damage. Really basic sword. Next up, so all of like the wood swords and pre-hard mode ore swords. They're all good. They're all really solid. Obviously, you're not going to be using them for very long, but they definitely help you progress through early game. So yeah, this pretty much just goes for all pre-hard mode swords. Next up is the Brand of the Inferno. This weapon's actually, I'm gonna put it. We'll put it in amazing. Honestly, it's a really good weapon. It sets people on fire. It does some amazing things. Like it's a solid weapon. It does some pretty good stuff. Like it just jacks stuff up, and it's a good weapon. Next up is the Breaker Blade. The Breaker Blade it has a really big range, so it can hit around corners, which does give it a bit of advantage. I'm gonna put it in low tier good. I literally never use this sword. I think I used it once in my playthrough. It sucks. It just sucks. Next up, the Candy Cane Sword. Same thing here. I literally never use it. Next up's the Chlorophyte Claymore and Chlorophyte Saber. Now, the Saber, I believe, shoots the little puffs, and the Claymore shoots the orbs. I think the Claymore is good, but at the same time, you probably shouldn't be using... Yeah, you should not actually be spending your Chlorophyte, which is a rarish ore on swords like this. Next up, our first god tier, Christmas tree sword. This sword is actually crazy. This sword is so good, so good. It shoots so many ornaments that like do splash damage and stuff. It's actually kind of crazy. It is honestly, I want to say broken. Like, it's so good, especially against like waves and stuff, like in events. It's so good. It's like literally overpowered. Like, you can get it earlier than the Terrorblade, and it literally is, or around the same time as the Terrorblade, and it literally is, I think, better than the Terrorblade. This staff thing, this also sucks, I think. I'm gonna never use it though, but it just kind of sucks. Next up's in the Cobalt sword, I think. I also never use the sword either, but I've used it a couple times. It's pretty bad. Next up is the Cutlass. Now, the Cutlass. I absolutely despise this thing. We're actually gonna make a whole new tier for this thing. This thing's the Cutlass tier. I hate this weapon so much. It does like negative damage. It's a hard mode weapon. It's a rare drop, so you think it's good. The range is not even rangeable. Like, it's the same range as like a wooden sword. It does no damage. It probably does the same as damage as like a mithril sword or something. It's just complete doo-doo. It sucks. Next up, the Death Sickle. This is easily an amazing thing. This thing is a really, really good weapon. It shoots little sickles from it, which do a lot of damage. It does high base damage itself. It's just good all the way around. Next up is Enchanted Blade. We'll put this in good. If you find it early game, it's solid. Like, it's a good, it has range, which is something most weapons have. Like, it's great, like, pre-Eye of Cthulhu. But after that, it's kind of obsolete until you get to the Zenith, because you need it to craft that. Next up is this weapon, this Scimitar. You literally get this from the die trader if they die. So you never use it, but at the same time, you shouldn't be using it, because it does, like, 19 damage. And if your die trader dies, that means you're fighting a boss, probably. And if you're fighting a boss, that means you're at least the Eye of Cthulhu, which means you have Demonite stuff. So I don't know why you're using this, period. So yeah, this is bad. Same here. This weapon, the Falcon Blade, I think also kind of sucks. Now this weapon, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It's like the Feel Balknovs. I don't know how you say it, but it's borderline amazing. It goes so fast. It's so fun to use. It shreds, but to be so close, which kind of makes it a little more obsolete. So I'll put it like around here, but it's so good. It does like 60 damage. It attacks like every millisecond. Next up, the Volcano. This is a solid top tier good. Solid. I think it's honestly one of the best pre-hard mode swords. My hot take is it's better than the Knight's Edge just because it has more range and it sets people on fire. And because this is pre 1.4.4, the Knight's Edge sucks, which we'll get to in a little bit. Next up is like the Dragon's Breath, Betsy's Wrath. No, that's the thingy. It's like the dragon sword you get from Betsy. I forget the exact name of it, but it's pretty good, honestly. It shoots crazy things from it. So, but at the same time, it's kind of obsolete because I don't like it because of the Old Man's Army. By the time you get it, you're post Golem, which means that you're practically at the pillars at that point. So the only thing you actually use this for is like the lunatic cultist fight. So it's not an issue with the sword, it's more of an issue of Terraria progression, so I'll still put it into amazing though. Next up is the Frostbrand. I'm putting it in okay, honestly. Same deal with the beam sword. It kind of just shoots a little pathetic little shot. I don't even know if you'd call it like a thing. Kind of like the enchanted sword. Alright, next up is the Icicle. Kind of same deal with the last one. It's pretty average. It shoots a little beam thingy, or not a beam thingy, like a little like thingy that doesn't do that much damage. It's kind of good, I guess. I'll put it in like top tier okay. Next up is the Influx Waver. It did get some major buffs in 1.4.4, but this is obviously pre 1.4.4. And to stay fair, if it was post 1.4.4, I'd put it easily in amazing, but since it's not, I'm put in high tier good. It's still a very solid weapon. I'd say it's around the same things, or same level as the Terrorblade. Next up is the Keybrand. It's okay, I guess. Put it low tier good. It's good. It's not bad. Yeah, it's decent. It's a pretty good weapon. Alright, next up, I don't actually know what this weapon is. When I saw this in the tier list, I actually had zero. I don't know what this weapon is. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know what this is. Like, I've never used it. Like, I literally genuinely don't even know the name of it. So that's something. Next up is the Meowmere. Obviously, god tier, but the noises it makes is extremely annoying. So I'm sort of tempted to put it in the cut list here, just because it's so annoying. But usually I play Terraria with audio off because I'm listening to music or something like that, or talking to people. So I actually will keep it in god tier. But it's yeah. All right. Next up is Night's Edge. This weapon sucks. This weapon sucks. It's horrible. Pre 1.4.4, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's literally worse than the Volcano or Fiery Greatsword. It's really, really bad. It's just horrendous. You need it, but it does no range. It's literally the same as the Cutlass. Next up is this weapon. I've literally never used this as well. I don't know what this is either. Next up is like the Rockfish, or like the purple clubfish, I think is what it's called. It's an okay weapon. It does like these really big, slow strikes. So I'll put it in okay. Low tier okay. Alright, next up is this ruler thing. I don't know who decided to make this a weapon. This isn't even like a weapon. It's more of like a... It's not even like you're attacking someone. It's like you're just poking them with like a wood stick. And the range is literally worse than like the Arcalis. Like it has no range. So it's gonna go in the Cutlass tier. I'm sorry. It's so bad. It's horrible. Next up is the Seedler. I'll put this in top tier good, above the Influx Waver, for sure. It shoots these little bomb things and they explode into more thingies, and it has okay range, but again, like it's like one of the better ranged weapons, especially pre 1.4.4. Next up is the hand thingy. I've never used this weapon as well. It's one of the worst hard mode weapons according to its statistics, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Alright, next up is the Star Fury. Now this is controversial. A lot of people like the Star Fury. It is a good beginner weapon because it has higher base damage, but genuinely, I think at the beginning of the game, I think at least in the beginning game, at least until you get to like post Skeletron, you shouldn't really have classes, or like you should be less focused on classes and stuff in your class. And honestly, you should just be using a ranged weapon, honestly. Like the stars get stuck, like they don't go through platforms, which is really annoying. It sucked against my Ivy duo fight, so I'm honestly gonna put it in bad. Like I hated it. I did not progress with it at all. Like I really did not like it. However, this is the Star's Wrath. Now, I believe that's what it's called. This weapon is god tier as well. It's so good, dude. It literally just rains like a bajillion stars from the sky. It's so strong. It's actually insane how strong it is. It's so good. Next up is the Scissors. I also never really used this as well in a playthrough, ever. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Next up is the Terrorblade. If you have the Terrorblade, you're post Golem, which means that you're about to get Daybreak and Solar Eruption, which aren't on these tiers because they're technically not really considered melee weapons, but you should. At the same point, you also probably can get this the Betsy sword or whatever. And honestly, I'll put Inga. I'm still putting Inga, just leave it at that. Next up is the Terragrim. It's literally the exact same as the Arcalis, except it's just a lot rarer and harder to get, so yeah. Next up's the Horseman's Blade. I'm gonna put this in mid-tier good, honestly. It fires little pumpkin things when you like use it, whatever, but at the same time, it's good. It's good, actually. I'll put it in high tier good. High tier, no, because when you use it, you probably already have better weapons. So I'll put it in mid-tier good. Next up are these two weapons. I've literally actually never seen these two ever in a playthrough. I might just be blind, but I've literally never seen these ever. I don't know what these are. Please comment down below what. Honestly, comment down below what this weapon is. Like, comment down below what any of these like 4 weapons are. The True Excalibur and True Knight's Edge are way better post 1.4.3. 1.4.4, they're so much better. But this is the 1.4.3 tier list. So honestly, Excalibur, low tier good. Knight's Edge, mid tier good. Like, I'm just gonna put it at that. Like, they're one of the better swords that you can get, but their range kind of sucks. And finally, for the last weapon in this tier list, the Zenith. Nothing really needs to be said about this. It's god tier. It's the best weapon in the entire game. The best sword, best weapon, best everything in the entire game. The range is incredible. The damage it can do is also just incredible. And yeah, it's just insane. Guys, I actually just realized I forgot a weapon. This weapon right here, also god tier, obviously. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I did hope you enjoyed it. I will be posting my normal episode content in a little bit, but I just wanted to give it a bit of a break. Yeah, so more episodes are on their way soon. Please like and subscribe, and if this video does decently well, maybe like 15-20 views, I will maybe make like a mage or a ranger like weapon tier list, or maybe a different tier list. Who knows? Comment down below what you want to see next. And yeah. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.